Hi everyone, this is Karolina and this is video 2 of my midterm project for WST 460. Now, in this video, I am going to be talking about the socially constructed body. So, what it means to be a man and look like a man, and what it means to be a woman and look like a woman. Um, so, masculinity versus femininity. The foundation of this video, meaning my resources, are Judith Lorber and Patricia Yancey Martin, The Socially Constructed Body, Insights from Feminist Theory, and I will also be taking things from For Queer Cancer Survivors, It's Not All About Pink Ribbons. That's a pretty cool topic that I am going to touch on, and I think it's important to mention it. So first and foremost, a man or woman. What are the general expectations? A man is expected to be strong, bulky. Often, young men feel forced to take steroids or join a sports team in order to get big. Because if they're not big, then they're not considered a man, tall, bulky, and often men that are shorter, whether they show it or not, the insecurities are in us. The insecurities are within all of us in regards to society's criticism. So shorter men, will get made fun of, and taller women will get made fun of, because women aren't supposed to be tall. A woman isn't supposed to be taller than her boyfriend, and on the other side, women are expected to have breasts and a thin figure, but be plump in all the right places, And the reason that earlier I said I'm going to mention For Queer Cancer Survivors, It's Not All About Pink Ribbons, is because breasts are, one of the most important parts of our bodies as far as being able to see it visually and society's way of determining whether, we are a real man or a real woman. So, in the socially constructed body, Insights from Feminist Theory, Judith Lorber and Patricia mention how plastic surgeons target men versus how they target women. So, for targeting men, it's evident that they're going to point out, for men that aren't as fit, that it may look like they have breasts, breast reduction. You have to get this because a guy's not supposed to have boobs. Excuse me, sorry. Or for women, breast augmentation, women have to have breasts. If you don't have breasts, then you're less of a woman. And that makes cancer survivors and cancer researchers a little upset in regards to breast cancer because women that are diagnosed with breast cancer, sometimes they have to have a procedure done where they won't have breasts anymore. And often the choice is given, the option is given to them, do you want to have plastic surgery, implants, something so it can look like you have breasts. And that's insulting because, imagine here's this woman, she just survived cancer, and instead of being able to feel blessed and be happy, she is going to be forced to feel insecure because of society. Now, whether women admit it or not, it is a problem. We often don't like to discuss that we may feel insecure, but a majority of the time, if you ask someone, would you change anything about yourself? You could change something about your body. What would you change? A lot of times, people will say, I wish I was taller for men, or a woman will say, I wish I was shorter. I wish I had bigger boobs. A guy will say, I wish I had muscles. All of these physical characteristics that society says define who we are, and that define and determine whether or not we are a real man or a real woman. And also, a man is supposed to be strong because he's supposed to be the breadwinner of the home. He's supposed to be the protector. He's supposed to be the one that brings home the cake. All these different phrases and terms that people use. And a woman, she's supposed to be delicate and the homemaker, housewife. She's supposed to remain sexy but not promiscuous. She's supposed to always be appealing to her man, maternal. So now if a woman is dominant and aggressive, often women like that will be referred to as bitches, because, oh no, society doesn't like dominant women. Society doesn't like women that put their foot down, because women aren't supposed to do that. And if they do, they're supposed to be passive aggressive. Or if we have a man, that stays at home with his child while the woman works, oh no, that's not okay, because now you're not a man. You're a, people say all kinds of crazy things about that. I don't want to mention any of the terms right now, but it's out there. People say these things. And, back to for queer cancer survivors, it's not all about pink ribbons. While the focus sometimes is supposed to be cancer awareness, well, not sometimes, all the time, it's supposed to be cancer awareness and celebrating cancer survivors and remembering those who didn't survive, it turns into this whole debate and issue about boobs, having boobs or not having boobs, completely undermining the cancer survivor's story. And also in the article that I wanted to mention, here, this is what it says. Going topless was a long process of getting comfortable with myself as a person, with my body. Notaro told Esquire at the time, adding, my body is healed and I'm healthy. It's something to not have taboo around. Another quote from here that says, I feel as if breast cancer patients are being body police. Not all women relate to their breasts in the same way their doctors do. We're not a one-size-fits-all community. We all have different needs. Because most of the time, I know someone that had breast cancer. Thankfully, she's a survivor. And she told me that the doctors would keep pushing, getting her breasts done on her. And she didn't want to do that. She said, my scars are a beautiful thing. They make me more of a woman. I feel like I would be less of a woman if I got fake boobs just to make myself feel more of a woman. Now, if someone wants to get them just because they want to, then that's one thing. But if it's just to feel as more of a woman, then she was like, they need to go deep within themselves and figure out who they are, because you can't let society define you. And, when she told me that, and then when I read this article in this class, I thought to myself, whether we want to admit it or not, society does affect us subconsciously on some kind of a level. Directly, we are affected by, people and what they say, but we may not show it. But whereas subconsciously, like if someone asks me, what would you want to change about yourself? I can probably name thousands of things, but why? Why would I feel the need to change that about myself? And that's what brings us back to socially constructed bodies. There's like a foundation set for what everyone is expected to look like, the ideal body image. And which is why, we have a lot of eating disorders, and we have a lot of young men that are on steroids, dying from steroids, girls dying from anorexia and bulimia, because they just don't feel like their body is good enough. They don't feel like a man. They don't feel like a woman. And rather than constantly pushing these societal constructs, we should all just accept one another. And while there's plenty of people that will say they do, it doesn't happen because, you know, like in mainstream hip hop, we'll go from the thin girls, you know, are everything, and now it's thick girls are everything. And if you're thin, then you're not a real woman. You know, men like meat. They don't like bones, or whatever that saying is. Societal constructs of the body are everywhere, and they are there even when we're in the womb. You know, pink clothes, blue clothes, Ninja Turtles versus Barbies. Whether, you know, someone wants their child to be a ballerina versus a basketball player. It all depends on whether they're a boy or a girl. So I'm running here a little bit over the time, so I'm going to end here. Thank you for watching my videos, and I look forward to watching all of your guys' videos.